Hello my friends. After this daring and promising start, I felt pumped up and decided to go back to Brazil where I always intended to immigrate. But my destiny had other plans for me. This time, instead of staying only 1 month, I applied for a 6 month visa. I painted other paintings in the perspective of my first exhibition in a gallery in Brasilia. When we arrived in the cab, I was surprised at the turns and detours one had to make in a city designed for the cars. The avenues were very wide, but if the now famous buildings designed by the architect Niemeyer were impressive, the houses did not have the architectural quality of the other Brazilian city I had seen. The famous glass cathedral did not emanate any spiritual emotion and rather made me think, when I visited it, of a fish market. Residents told me that they felt a great sense of loneliness because there were no corners to chat. In addition, if they needed to buy cigarettes, they had to drive several kilometers by car or risk getting run over when crossing the highways on foot. The exhibition took place and several paintings were sold, but I was never paid. It was the first time. There were many others in Paris because it was more than 100 paintings entrusted to various galleries or to people who had offered to sell them to me that disappeared. This trip was finally catastrophic. I had other exhibitions in galleries, especially in Santos, but nothing was sold. I got sick, a flu, and I had to go to bed at my friend's place in Botafogo. I returned definitively to Paris, giving up my ideas of emigrations. With hindsight, I realized that destiny had forced me to return, because in Brazil I would never have been able to achieve the Extasium. I met Paula, a Vietnamese half-breed, and her sister Jacqueline, whom we were accommodating in the large apartment above the Montparnasse train station. I found Chabi, my famed fennec, that I brought back from Algeria 6 years earlier. He was adorable, my little desert fox, and usually he followed me everywhere. But this time, I couldn't take him with me because of the problems he caused me every time I traveled with him. The otters would not accept him, even though he was very quiet and made no noise. But when he found me after such a long absence, he was not happy, sulking in his corner, and did not talk to me anymore. One day, Paula had the idea to prepare crayfish for us. To see Chubby's reaction, I took him in my arms and Paula put one on the floor. Without even looking, he jumped on the beast, which he must be had taken for a scorpion, his usual meal in the desert. In no time at all, he crunched it. But the crayfish shell is much harder, and its intestines were pierced. I slept on a mattress on the floor, and during the night, Chubby, with his last strength, dragged himself to me. I laid him on my stomach and fell asleep. When I woke up, he was dead. Thinking back of these scenes after so long, I am still moved by it. In the Beaux-Arts animation class, I was very busy because I was taking drawing lessons in addition to my studies in a very good school in Paris, Place des Vosges, next to Victor Hugo's house. We were drawing antique plasters and on Saturdays drawings of nudes. My father knew nothing about our schedules, but when I came home one night at 3 in the morning, he found it hard to believe that I had done a job for the workshop. But it was true. But I couldn't tell him that my friend Alain and I had gone around the cabarets to find a stripteaser that could be part of the party we were going to give for the elders. One day, at the beginning, the elders gave us the order to get naked. We went to the room we called the Mass and we undressed. But this year we were older, more experienced and less shy. One of us, being part of a rugby team from Beaux-Arts, used to undress, came up with an idea not to go like a frightened herd. We bent down and with the left hand we cuffed the right hand that the previous one had put between its legs, and we placed in our turn the right hand between the thighs to catch the next one. We went out bent, walking in step and repeating several times. I have something sharp in my house that keeps me from working. I have something sharp in my house that keeps me from working. It was a burst of laughter from all the elders who had never seen this, and then they left us alone. The workshop reconstituted a brass band, of which I was a part, although not knowing the music. I played a copper bass by pressing the keys we had been shown on the board. Pom, 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 pom. There was a brass band contest, and ours, the Othello brass band, named after our boss, was the most important. We were barefoot, with a long orange satin dress, our face made up in Chinese operette, with a kind of big black pipe on our head. We were preparing for the big gala, for which we selected the best brass bands. We won the competition, and to celebrate the event, we went to play on the arch bridge next door. It was 2 degrees, and we were barefoot, but no one got sick. The theme of the gala, which was very popular with the good society, and where one had to go in costume or disguise, was the travels of Marco Polo. There was the arrival of the Great Mass, survival of the Middle Age. The master was the head of the corporation who brandished a mace or stick symbolized his power as the king's scepter. The Great Mass was the set of all the masters of the various workshops, that is to say, the managers. So, the Grand Master arrived with all their hair shaved, like Mongols, which was not done at that time, and the Grand Master, Philip Moore, perched on a horse in the middle of the crowd and to the sound of the brass band. Then 2 Chinese dragons made by the workshop and unleading by all the carriers arrived. In the middle of the crowd, they attacked so strongly that both were destroyed. It was then that a 3rd dragon appeared, much more beautiful and fire-breathing. It was he who won the dragon contest. Between the many festivals, the architecture of the past was studied, mainly the Italian Renaissance period. The boss wanted us to spend 2 years in admission, but I had to get it in the same year so that I could then work in an architectural firm to earn my financial independence. I put myself very seriously at work, and I will tell you next time the ups and downs of this preparation for the entrance exam.